What's going on, my broskies? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, we're going to have a look at ink effects. Now, it has been a really long time since I actually covered ink effects in a video. I think it was, man, it was like early last year. So today we're going to be covering just some of the characters that we may not have talked about in any of those other previous videos. As I said, it's been a really long time, so I want to go through some of these ink effects and rate them out of 10, and definitely down below in the comment section, let me know which one of these ink effects that we have a look at today was your favorite. So we're not going to cover all of these ink effects because I have covered them in previous videos. I'll leave a link to all of those down below in the video description so you can check them out for yourself. In this video, we're checking out ink effects that I have not shown off in videos and I've not talked about. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So I'm not really 100% sure if some of these that I talk about in this video have actually been in previous videos. I'm only going to not talk about them if I know for sure I talked about them in previous videos. But with Vivi and Rebecca's, I mean, honestly, the ink effect is pretty basic. I kind of regret doing this. I would have preferred to save the ink bottles for future characters. But I remember pulling the unit and I wanted to ink them straight away because it is really, really cool artwork. It's not the best, but it's okay. I'd probably rate this one maybe like a 6 out of 10. And the same goes with Shirahoshi and Mancherry V2. Like, it's just okay. It's kind of cute. It's awesome. It's got like some nice little effects going on. But considering some of the other ink effects that we know come out later on, this is definitely one that I regret doing, that's for sure. I'd probably rate this one also around about a 6 out of 10. So now we have a look at Usop and Nami, which is a character that I only pulled relatively recently. So let's have a look at their ink effect right here. Stage 1, pretty basic. Stage 2, I mean, I like the lightning bolt effect from Nami. It's just unfortunate that on Usopp's side of thing, I mean, he does have him shooting something out of his slingshot. That's actually kind of neat. Honestly, it is a little underwhelming. There's not really much they really could do with it, so I think that considering the artwork and what they've done with it, it looks fine, but it's definitely not my favorite ink effect in the game, that's for damn sure. I mean, I do like the slingshot and like the lightning effect from Nami, so I guess I'll rate it also about a 6 out of 10, and I mean, the character in and of itself isn't really that good of a unit either, so just overall, just a pretty underwhelming unit, so yeah, I'll probably rate it around a 6 out of 10. So I have no idea if I've talked about Kaido versus Big Mom in any of the other previous ink effect videos, but I think this is a really nice one. I think that considering the unit and the ink effect and how early ink effects were in the game when this was introduced, I think this is still to this day one of the best Sugofest exclusive character artwork with the ink effects that we've had. I love the little Doom effect where they have the red eyes and the whole background goes a bit darker. That looks so badass, and I love how they both got a little bit of an impact with their swinging club and sword respectively. This is a really nice artwork. I'd probably rate this one about an 8. So Ace versus Akainu is another character that I don't remember if we've talked about in a video, but considering how amazing this unit is, I do feel a little bit underwhelmed with the ink effect. I do like the fact that there is like an impact between the two flames and lava between each other. That is pretty neat, and I do like the Ace side of things. I think the fire around his arm and his shoulder looks great, but I think Akainu's side of thing is a little bit underwhelming, but again, it's one of those things where, you know, what else could you really do with the artwork? I think they've done about as good as they could possibly get. Though I do think it's a lot better than some of the other ones that we've seen in this video thus far. Give it a 7. So let's have a look at the Fire Tank Pirates, the Kizuna Sugofest exclusive character here. Stage 1, pretty basic. Stage 2, man, that's underwhelming. Oh, that's really, really bad. I mean, look, Capone Crew's a really nice unit. They've got a neat special and stuff. But man, that is a very disappointing ink effect. I feel like for ink effects like this, where you have so many characters on one artwork, I feel like it is a little bit difficult to kind of facilitate a really decent ink effect. So it's probably just, you know, the way that the unit's artwork is kind of positioned. Definitely very underwhelming. So I'd probably give this one maybe like a 3 out of 10. I really dislike this one. Alright, let's have a look at Sabo and Ace, another Kizuna Sugofest exclusive character. Stage 1, looking pretty basic. Stage 2, yeah, this is really bad. There's really not a lot going on here. I mean, I like the blue and the, like, orange/red between each side of the artwork, but oh man, this is a very basic artwork, and they've only got the Sakura petals. They've not really got a lot else going on. Dude, this is so basic. Very underwhelming artwork here. I mean, you know, again, this unit's really, really good, but that ink effect is just not it, man. That is just not it. I'll probably give this one probably also around a 3 out of 10. This one's terrible. Whitebeard versus Shanks, one of the better Sugofest exclusives in the game. Stage 2. The thing about this character, right, is that a lot of people really do hate on this artwork, and I think that the artwork itself is pretty bad, but I think that what they've done with the ink effect is about as good as you could possibly get considering the artwork. I love the impact between Whitebeard and Shanks. I think it looks fantastic, and the fact that the impact when they collide, it expands so far out. I love this artwork. I think it is actually really good. Definitely one of the better ones we've seen in this video. So I'm going to give this one a solid 8 out of 10 for sure. Ulti and Page One. Let's have a look at this one right here. Stage 1 is a little bit basic, but I mean, it's a stage 1. You can't really expect too much out of it. Stage 2. Okay, this one's actually looking kind of clean. No crazy impact, which is a little bit what I was expecting. I like that there's like the red haki surrounding the characters. It looks really cool, and there's like smoke effects going on. Yeah, this is pretty neat, though I do feel like the big swishing effect on the corner of the character, like the big yellow swishes, I'm not really too sure what that is supposed to be representing. It's a little bit bizarre, so I don't think I like that too much. I think if that was taken out and replaced with something else, it would definitely look a lot better. But this is actually not too bad. I'd probably give this one around like a 6 or a 7. I'm gonna be a little bit nice to this character. I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. Robin and Jinbei dual unit. This is a pretty cool character that unfortunately I haven't had too many opportunities to actually use. So this character stage 1 is pretty bare bones basic, of course. Let's have a look at stage 2. Yeah, this is pretty sick. You can't go past this one. I love how unique this one is, and that's what we really love to see with these ink effects, is provide unique effects that are, you know, obviously unique for the characters in question, which of course with Robin specifically, the fact that it's got like the duplicating arms is absolutely wicked. And then you've got Jinbei who's just doing his big punch, so not really much you can do with Jinbei there, but the Robin effect is really nice, a really nice touch, and as I said, you know, just a unique factor that this character has that no other character in the game really has access to. So honestly, I'm going to give this one like a 7 out of 10 just due to the uniqueness, because if you do take out the effect of Robin's arms, it's a pretty bad artwork, honestly. So I'm just going to give extra points just due to the uniqueness. So yeah, I'm going to give this one a 7. We've got Kaido crew coming up here. Stage 1 actually looks pretty decent, not gonna lie. I like the little rumbling in the background with Kaido. Stage 2 though, this is a really clean artwork, and considering the characters in question, it's really hard for them to have structured this artwork in such a way to actually make it legitimately good. I think the unevolved artwork of this character does look a lot better. I much prefer it, because there is just a lot going on in this artwork here, but considering, this is a really nice scenic artwork. This is definitely more of a scene artwork rather than a character piece. You know, the characters are all here in question, but I feel like if you take this artwork and you blow it up to be a huge image, this would look absolutely amazing. But as a Treasure Cruise artwork, it is a bit strange, but I think that with the ink effect of stage 2 added, it adds so much to it, because just basic bare bones, you know, just the bare bones artwork here, not a lot going on. It's pretty bad, but when you add the ink effect on top of it, it makes it so much better, though you do have to invest the ink bottles into doing that. But I think that this is like an 8 out of 10 artwork. Alright, then we get to the big bad boy himself, Roger and Newgate, which is, this is by far and away one of my favorites in the game, and it's mainly just because this scene in the anime and manga even was just amazing, and I don't think it really is that far of a stretch to really call this a 10 out of 10 artwork. This is a fantastic piece, and they've done a really good job. It is unfortunate that the character was never a versus unit. I think it would have been way more awesome if that was the case. But at the same time, the fact that they have probably one of the best switches in the game, if definitely one of, if not the best switch effect in the game, definitely, you know, kind of pads the fact that they're not a versus unit, which would have been a really nice touch. But this is so good. I absolutely love and adore this artwork. 10 out of 10 in my books, for sure. We've got Luffy and the Straw Hats coming up. Now, this is a character that I personally haven't done because I really didn't like this artwork that much, but let's see if anything changes looking back at it now. So stage 2, man, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of colors, very bright. I can understand why people would like this one. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I just feel like it is a little bit lazy, but again, it's something that we talked about earlier. When you have so many characters that, you know, are on an artwork, it's hard to make the artwork pop. It's hard to make it look good. And I feel like this kind of struggles from that same situation, but I do like all the additional coloring effects that they've added to this. So I do think this is like probably a 7 out of 10. That's being generous, honestly, because I really don't think this artwork is that good, but I'll give this one a 7. Now, I don't remember if I've talked about Sanji and Pudding in any of these ink effect videos yet, so let's have a look at stage 2. Man, like, it's just literally glowing effects and a bit of glitter, a little bit of bubbles, light reflections. Yeah, this is pretty average. I mean, look, if you're a fan of Sanji and or Pudding, you'll probably love this. Personally, though, just giving it as a pretty average ink effect, just overall, this is like probably like a 4 or a 5. I'm gonna give it a 4. Not really that good. It's probably a 3. Might even be a 2. It's just not that good. Like, there's not that much difference between the ink effect version and the normal version. I'm gonna give this a 2. So we have 6+ Jack as well, because of course he got his Super Evolution, and with the Super Evolution came his ink effect. Stage 1, pretty basic. Stage 2, well, this is kind of interesting. So they've got like those impact lines, or like the movement lines moving across his artwork here. Honestly, I don't think this is an ink effect that I would ever go ahead and use, because it's just not that great. It doesn't add that much to the artwork. It's cool, but it's not that good. I'll probably give this one about a 5 or a 6, because I feel like, in my opinion, like, if you're gonna go out of your way to use your ink bottles on it, it probably has to be, you know, at least above a 5. And in my opinion, this is around that level. Like, it's not the worst, it's not great. I'm gonna give this about an average of 5. And then, of course, Oden got his Super Evolution, which gave him an amazing look to his artwork with his ink effect. This looks fantastic. They did such a good job with this artwork. I mean, if we thought that Oden's ink looked really good upon initial inspection with his 6-star form, they've done a fantastic job and even better looking artwork in his 6-star plus. This is easily a 10 out of 10 artwork, and if you have Kozuki Oden, I would probably advise doing it, just because it looks good and I want to see the ink effect all the time. This is a fantastic ink effect. Easy 10 out of 10. And we got some of Vivi. Alright, let's go ahead and check out Vivi. Hopefully we got some cool stuff going on here. Stage 1, looking pretty cool. Stage 2, we've got like little lights going in the background. We've got the Sakura petals. We've got some splashes as well. Okay, kind of neat. I actually really like this one. There's not like a lot going on, but what they've added to it just, you know, overall adds to the artwork, which is all we can really ask for. Just add more to the artwork in and of itself. And they've done that here. This is probably a 7.5 to an 8. I'm going to give it an 8. I'm going to be relatively generous on this one. This is an 8 out of 10 artwork in my opinion. This is really, really good. Final Tap Kid. Let's have a look and see what Kid's going on. Even that stage 1 is pretty good. And then stage 2, they got that huge impact. They've got some lightning going around. The rain is adding so much to this. It adds just a little bit of atmosphere to this artwork. This is great. I'm going to rank this one probably an 8 out of 10. I'm really close to a 9 on this one. I don't know if I'd want to give it a 9. I feel like there needed to be something else. Actually, you know what? I am going to give it a 9. I just noticed something, that when the impact hits, there's a splash of water. That's just a really nice touch. This is going to be a 9 out of 10 for me. This is really good, actually. Next, we have Superclass Doflamingo. Stage 1 looking pretty basic. Stage 2, yeah, I remember when this one was coming out, a lot of people were going out of their way to ink effect this one. I like the vibrations from his 16 holy bullets versus Luffy, and they got the impact of Luffy hitting the 16 holy bullets with his fist. This is a really nice artwork, but the thing about it is it really doesn't highlight the character. It only is like showing the impact between Luffy's fist and the threads. And the threads are the focal point here. Those are the things that are making the most movement. And of course, Luffy's fist doing the big impact. I think I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10, just because it does take away from Doflamingo in the artwork. But I think it's a really nice scenic artwork, very similar to Kaido Crew, where as a scene, it's great. But as a Treasure Cruise artwork, not really too sure if I'm really that big of a fan of it. Next, we got Toki. Let's have a look and see what Toki does. Stage 1, obviously pretty bare bones. And then stage 2, we got the burning house surrounding them and a little bit of a glow. This is pretty basic. I'm not really the biggest fan of this one either. I'd probably give this one maybe like a 6 out of 10. I mean, obviously this character kind of gets a little bit extra points because this character is like one of the best legends in the game. But unfortunately, the ink effect, it's just okay. It's nothing too crazy. I'm going to give this one like a 6. And next we have a non-legend. I think this is the only non-legend character in the game that has an ink effect at the moment, which is pretty nuts. So we've got Treasure Map Zorojuro. Hopefully get more free-to-play ink effects soon enough. Stage 2 though, this is a really nice artwork. And of course, this is only a free-to-play unit, so we can't really expect the world from it. But considering the level of the character that we have here, considering the artwork that has actually been given to the character, I like the little swirls of clouds just like kind of bordering the artwork, which is kind of nice. And of course, the impact between between Zoro's sword and Basil Hawkins. It's really good. I'm going to give this one maybe a 7 out of 10. It's like not the best one I've ever seen, but this is a pretty nice one for sure. Definitely better than some of them that we've seen in this video thus far. So we got Mihawk with his super evolution here, V2 Mihawk that is. Stage 1, just some sparks, that's basically it. And then stage 2, this is a very interesting looking artwork. Very bizarre how like the whole character side of things like starts glowing green with his big slash. And when he slashes, there's the impact of the rocks flying, the sparks are still flying there. This is a really nice piece, I like this one a lot too. Unfortunately, the character really isn't that great, which I think would have added additional points here. Again, this is like, it definitely adds to it. It's good, but it's not like blowing me away. It's probably like a 6 or a 7 in my books. V2 Doflamingo, one of the more recently released characters in the game. Let's have a look at this guy. Stage 1, just some, you know, impact of the rocks flying. Stage 2, this is really good. One thing that I really love about this one is that there's the glow from the flames up from the ground. And like you see, even from like his legs and his torso, like the flames are like going up his body, and like the glow is so good. They've done a really good job. If you just look at stage 1, like this is pretty basic, but then that extra glow from like the fire and like the little embers that are flying around, this is a fantastic artwork, dude. This is, in my books, this is a 9 out of 10. Like, I don't think it's a 10 out of 10 that I would ink effect it straight away, but man, this looks good. This is a really fantastic piece of artwork. 9 out of 10. And of course, we have Brook here with his super evolution, slashing Big Mom, which is pretty dope, or slashing one of the homies. I can't remember, Zeus, I think he was slashing at the time. Stage 2, though, I do like the little light source coming from his feet, showing like him jumping out of the attack. That's actually pretty neat. They've done a pretty good job with this artwork, honestly, and I do like the little like impact glow effect that happens. That's really neat. It actually does surround the whole character, looks really good. It really makes Brook pop out of the artwork. This is a really nice artwork, actually. You know, looking at it, I didn't think it was that good, but after looking at how cool it actually is, you know, taking more time to look at it in greater detail, yeah, I'm going to rate this one probably an 8 out of 10. This is actually surprisingly very, very good. And next we have Final Tap Law. Have a look at this ink effect, dude. They've done a fantastic job. The fact that the ink basically covers the entire screen is absolutely wicked with that room effect that happens. And I love the rain as well, the electricity around the sword. This is amazing. This is quite easily a 10 out of 10 artwork, and if you disagree, you're wrong. This is easily a 10 out of 10 artwork in every sense. This is so good. CP0 Rob Lucci, let's have a look. Stage 2, he has the impact of his finger. Bam, the finger guns, you already know the deal. That is so bizarre looking, just looking at all those, like, it's like a wind stream coming off of his finger. That is bizarre looking. I like looking at it. I think this is a really nice piece. I'm going to rate this one an 8 out of 10. I think they probably could have done a little bit better. I feel like the wind stream is a bit intense, because you're really focusing in on that wind stream, but it looks really cool to look at. I love it. I really do like this one. Yeah, I'm going to give this an 8. Superclass Crocodile versus Luffy, of course, and man, this is a really disappointing piece of artwork. That's really it. Just the impact between, like, it doesn't even like have any like special effect on the actual impact between Luffy and Croc where their arms are. There's nothing added there. All there is the surrounding piece of a flash and rocks. And clouds, obviously. This is disappointing. This is a 3 out of 10. Halloween Koala. I love the fireworks, actually, and that's only with stage 1. Stage 2 is got some smokes, got the fireworks, a little bit of impact from her doing her kick, but I feel like the impact is a little bit much to be desired. This is not the best artwork. I do like the little fireworks, but they definitely could have gone above and beyond. There's not even a glow in the pumpkin's eyes. See the pumpkins on the left and the right hand side. It would have been nice if they added a glow around those or something like that. But yeah, this is pretty underwhelming. I'm gonna give this one like maybe a 4. So next is we have V2 Borsalino. Even stage 1, this is actually kind of neat. You got the glow around his hands doing his effect and little ice shards going everywhere. And then stage 2, they absolutely pop the hell off with the little Yasakani no Magatama effect. That is going crazy. I love that. That is super unique. That's really cool. I dig that a lot. I think it's a little bit basic because that's like the only thing they're really doing. I mean, there's a bit of a glow and the ice shard's still happening, but it's pretty basic. I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10. And then we have the brand new V2 Dogstorm character, which came out recently, and I think this is a great artwork. I've went ahead and ink effected them myself. I'm a big fan of both of these artworks with Cat Dog, both getting the ink effects look really good. So I'm going to rate this one a 9 out of 10, just because I personally do love them. I love the impact and the electricity, and I love the little eye glow. The eye glow always gets me, dude. So that's always a really, really nice one. So I'm going to give this one probably a 9 out of 10. And then, of course, you can't go past Catviper himself. This one, I think, is even better than Dogstorm's one because you've got the upward slash, and that impact is so good. And then, of course, the glowing eye of Catviper, honestly, looks a lot better than what Dogstorm's one does as well. Yeah, this one's probably a 10 out of 10 in my books. I would probably rate this one a 10. Dogstorm's is a little bit worse, but this one is so good. So next is we have Queen. Now, I believe I've only actually done... Yeah, I've only added Stage 1 to this character. I haven't actually done his Stage 2 yet. But Stage 2 looks actually pretty good. I do like it a lot, actually. You got the little glow behind him. It's showtime. And you got the confetti, which is, again, like, pretty unique. Like, not a lot of characters actually have confetti. I don't even know anyone else that actually has that. So I'm going to give this one probably an 8, just due to its uniqueness. And then we have the Stage 2 effect of Final Tap Luffy. This one is not really the greatest. I think this is definitely the weakest of all of the Final Tap characters of Luffy, Law Kid. Now, one thing about it is that there's not a lot of rain. Like, there is a little bit of rain, but I feel like it's like on a lower level. They probably should have upped it so it was on top of Luffy, because that would have added a lot to the atmosphere of the artwork. And the impact of the hand is a bit basic in my opinion. I do think this is very underwhelming. This is probably like a 5 out of 10 for me. Law and Kid looks so much better. Next, we have Halloween Boa Hancock, and this is a pretty interesting piece of artwork right here. Let's have a look at Stage 2, and you got the little wisp flying around her artwork, which I think, while that is cool, that's basically all that's added. I mean, you've got like a little bit of light and the light bubbles surrounding her, but man, this is pretty underwhelming, because if you take out that little wisp, it's a pretty bad piece of artwork. So I'm going to give this one also around a 5 out of 10. We got Super Class Katakuri, of course. We got Snake Man v Katakuri artwork. Stage 1, we've got a little bit of Haki. And then Stage 2, I mean, they really tried to go in with like the speed of the attack, but I think they kind of missed the mark with this one. It's cool that they've got like more of an impact kind of effect happening here. You've got the Haki. There's a lot going on in this artwork. Do I think it's good? Well, I think it's still better than the base artwork at the very least, but I don't think it's really adding that much where, you know, it's worth using ink effects. And plus, this is a character that is good on paper, but unfortunately doesn't really see that much play. I'm going to rate this one maybe a 6 out of 10. It feels real bad saying that because I love my man Katakuri, but unfortunately the artwork just really isn't the best. And now we've got one of my personal favorite artworks in the game, which is Legend King. When I saw this ink effect Stage 2, I absolutely had to have it. Now, not a lot is happening here, but the glow from the flames flying up towards King is just so good. And, you know, we talked about it earlier with V2 Doflamingo. It's very similar in that way. This is a fantastic looking ink effect. I absolutely adore this one. This one in my books is an easy 10 out of 10, no question. This is a really nice piece. And now we get to have a look at Yamato. So, of course, the 6-star version of Yamato doesn't have an ink effect, but the 6-star plus one does. And this is a really nice piece of artwork, and I think is also another 10 out of 10 artwork. I love the impact from her club and the little lightning glows that happen. I mean, not a lot is actually happening here, but of course, it's Yamato. You know, you get a bit of extra points for it being Yamato and being a fantastic unit at that as well. So, this is a pretty nice piece. I'm easily ranking this one as a 10 out of 10. Got Mugiwara 56 Sanji coming up now. Let's have a look at his Stage 2. Oh man, this is not very good. This is a pretty bad piece of artwork, actually. Oh man, they could have done so much more with this, and they really didn't. I mean, I get the point of the artwork is to show him like pouncing forward, and there's like an explosion behind him or something. But I just, you know what? After looking at it a little bit more, I can kind of respect it. I can see where they're kind of trying to go with it. I think. Yeah, okay. I'm going to rank this one a 6 out of 10. I was originally leaning towards like a 3 or a 4, but after really taking a look at it, I actually really like it. I'm going to rank this one a 6 out of 10. And now we have one of the most beloved Sugo Fest exclusives in the game, of course debuted during the Treasure Map Sugo Fest, is Bon Clay. And I think that's literally Stage 2 special, and oh man, they screwed up big time with this one. Now one thing that is kind of cool is the leg kick. I think they did a really good job implementing that, but that's all they really did. They really should have added so much more to this artwork, it would have been amazing. Oh, it's such a shame because this legend is amazing, but this ink effect is just not it. They really missed the mark heavy with this one. I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 10. It's just not that good. We got V2 Oden. Dude, this artwork is actually amazing. This might be also one of my favorite artworks in the game. I love the little like light shining effects that are surrounding him. I like the Sakura petals. I love the impact of his hand directly in front of the artwork. It makes sense for the character. It looks fantastic, and I mean the fire glowing as well below him in the hot oil. It looks so good. This is a fantastic piece. One of my favorites in the game, and easily a 10 out of 10. Alright, so now we're going to have a look at the Luffy and the Straw Hats, or should we just say the Straw Hat Pirates. This artwork is great. Now, I personally have done Ink Effect level 1. I haven't done Ink Effect level 2, because even at Ink Effect level 1, I mean, look at this. This is such a good artwork by itself. And on Stage 2, yeah, they add a lot more stuff, which does look really good. This is an extraordinary piece of artwork, and I think it's really just due to the logo that they add to it. The logo adds a lot. Without the logo, I'm not really the biggest fan of it, but because of the significance of the artwork, adding that logo on top of it that is also animated is fantastic. I think this is a 10 out of 10 artwork. And now we have Pudding with her 6+. Let's have a look at her Stage 1. Oh man, she's crying. Oh no, she's crying, man. Alright, let's have a look at that Stage 2. I mean, she's still crying, but they've added Sakura petals for some reason. And that's basically it. That's pretty disappointing. I was kind of expecting a little bit more. It's a pretty basic artwork, actually. I'm going to give this one maybe just a 5 out of 10 because it's nice at least. It's not the worst, but they really didn't add a lot to this artwork, which is a bit of a shame, honestly. It should have been a lot better. And of course, Komurasaki with her 6+ did also receive a brand new ink effect. Let's have a look at her Stage 2. That's a really nice Stage 2 artwork, of course, because this is when Kiyoshiro was doing the big slash to quote-unquote kill Komurasaki or execute Komurasaki. And I really like the little slash effect across her, and then when she gets slashed, there's the really nice glow effect where the background goes dark and there's a glow border around her. Looks really nice, and the little petals that are surrounding her as well. This is a really nice piece, and I do like the little flowers on her border are actually being, they're actually rotating. That's a really nice touch as well. It's something they didn't really need to do, but it does add a pretty nice piece to the art. I do really like that, actually. This one's probably an 8 out of 10. And now we have V2 Marco. Stage 1 is terrible. Stage 2 is, I don't know how to say it, but also terrible. Like, they've basically just added like a big blue blur across the artwork on Stage 2. That's all they've done. Like, there's literally no difference between Stage 1 and Stage 2 aside from the big blue blurs and like maybe a couple more sparkles, and that's it. Yeah, this is disappointing as heck. This is like a 2 out of 10, honestly. This is really bad, which is kind of disappointing considering the character isn't super exciting. They could have done something on top of it to make the ink effect better, but they really didn't. So, pretty disappointing overall for V2 Marco. We got Jewelry Bonnie here. Let's go ahead and check out her ink effect. Her ink effect is actually kind of neat. I like the little water bubbles that are surrounding her. That's really unique. Like, how many characters have water that does that around her? That's really cool. I like that a lot. And like the blue glow that just adds to it as well. Doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, I guess she's sitting on a boat at that current point in time. I'm not really too sure what the artwork is supposed to be based off of, but I like it. I think this is a really nice piece. I'm going to rate this one an 8 out of 10. We've got Halloween Perona. Let's go ahead and check out Stage 2. Man, that's a really nice piece of artwork. You've got the little pumpkins. They're laughing in the background there. Though, if you take that away, there's really not a lot happening. You've got the little bubbles. You've got the sparks. It's pretty cool. This is a nice piece. I'm going to rate this one also an 8 out of 10. A lot of points, though, going towards those pumpkins. Those pumpkins look so good. I'm not too sure if we covered this in this video, but Gekko Moria, how can you look at this, dude? Gekko Moria's artwork is probably one of the best in the entire game. I mean, obviously the bats are the big draw. The bats look fantastic, but then when you look past that, all the light coming from the back of Moria, shining to the front of the artwork, it looks magnificent. This is definitely a 10 out of 10 artwork. The character is amazing. He's great in Pirate Rumble, great support, and a fantastic artwork. Just an all-round fantastic job that they've done with Gekko Moria in Treasure Cruise. And I believe this is the final artwork that we're going to be covering in this video, which is going to be Summer Reiju. But unfortunately, I don't think they've really added too much. I do think this is a little bit weaker than Summer Vivi, which we talked about earlier on in the video. You've got like the little the water splashes that are happening when the artwork does the impact, and you've got yellow flower petals instead of like the typical pink ones, which I think is actually really neat. And you've got some light flashes around the character artwork herself. And you've got like some sparkly stars. If you look up in the real back where you've got the moon in the background there, if you look real close, the stars are actually sparkling in the back there. It would have been nice if we saw more of the dark moon sky. I think that would have been a nice addition to the artwork instead of seeing like a stage or the side of the pool. I think it would have been nice touch. But overall, I think I'd probably give this one maybe a 7 out of 10. So that was a really long video. Wasn't expecting it to take that long, but it was a lot of fun going through some of the artworks that I'd pulled since the past, like, 12, 10, 11 months in One Piece Treasure Cruise. So it was exciting to go through some of these artworks again, show them to you guys, give my thoughts and opinions on them. So definitely let me know down below in the comment section which of the characters that you saw in this video is your favorite ink effect, or which characters that we didn't talk about. Characters I don't own, like Izo and Okiku, Kara and Wanda, Kinemon and Denjiro. Maybe there's some of those characters that I personally don't own yet that you guys absolutely love. So let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one today, and if you guys did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.